All right, so we've done a couple of keto breakfast smoothies on the channel lately, but none of them have been chocolate flavored smoothies. So today I am gonna show you how to make a chocolate keto breakfast smoothie. This thing is so freaking delicious. It's thick, it's creamy, it's full of rich chocolatey deliciousness. If you just like chocolate, you don't even have to love it. If you just like chocolate, you are gonna dig today's breakfast smoothie recipe. So with that being said, let's get right into things and I'll show you how to make the smoothie. So the very first thing we wanna do for our smoothie is get out our food scale and our blender. And then we'll want to add 2 ounces of unsweetened vanilla almond milk to the blender, as well as 2 ounces of heavy whipping cream. And we're adding the whipping cream for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's going to add some fat to the smoothie. And number 2, it's going to add a bunch of creaminess to our smoothie. So now we're going to add some chocolate flavor to our smoothie by adding a tablespoon or 5 grams of unsweetened cocoa powder. And speaking of chocolate, we're also going to be chocolifying our shake by adding a half a scoop of chocolate protein powder. And for today's smoothie, I'm going to be using a half a scoop or 15 grams of Bowmar Nutrition's hot chocolate protein powder. And the protein powder will not only add chocolate flavor to the smoothie, but also to add some creaminess as well. Now we're going to sweeten our smoothie up. And you guys know my favorite keto-friendly way to sweeten things up is by using erythritol. Today we're going to be using some Swerve Confectioner's erythritol just because it dissolves better than the granulated kind. And if you want to pick some of this stuff up, there's a link to grab it in the video description below. Anyways, for today's recipe, we're going to add a tablespoon or 12 grams of that stuff to our blender. And then we are also going to add more creaminess to our smoothie by using some full-fat Greek yogurt. And for today's recipe, we're going to be adding a tablespoon and a half or 21 grams of that stuff to our blender. At this point, we're just gonna add a tiny pinch of salt just to bring out all the rich chocolatey flavor of the smoothie. And then the last thing we're gonna add is gonna be a cup and a half of ice. We're gonna pop the top onto our blender, bring it over to the base of our blender, and then blend everything until a thick, smooth, rich, chocolatey consistency starts to form in there. And once it does, you can either drink the smoothie right out of the blender, or you can be a little bit more sophisticated and pour it into a glass. But that is how to make a keto chocolate breakfast smoothie. All right, so that is today's low carb keto chocolate breakfast smoothie recipe. I hope you guys enjoy the smoothie. I want to give a quick shout out and thank you to Bowmar Nutrition. They sponsored today's video. That was the protein powder that I used to make the smoothie today. So if you want to pick up that hot cocoa protein powder, there's a link to grab it in the video description below. And speaking of the video description, if you want the full macro breakdown for today's smoothie recipe, that's listed down there along with actually links to all the products that I used to make the smoothie. So anything that you need, there's probably a link down there to grab it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the smoothie and I will see you in the next recipe.